but he was very dear to me. He had raised me as a child, and I felt very sad that he didn't want anyone to pray for him before he died. He says, I don't want anybody praying for me. I don't want any priests. I don't want my last rites because my father didn't want his last rites, so I'm not going to have mine. And I had just learned about divine mercy through Charmaine and the importance of it and the importance of confession. And because I myself didn't know much about the Catholic religion, and because I wasn't really brought up as a practicing Catholic. But upon meeting Charmaine, I had learned so much, and I knew it was really important. And Charmaine was always after me. She goes, I'm going to come say the Divine Mercy with you and your grandfather. I go, no, don't do that. He's not going to let you in the house. You don't understand. Like, I was really afraid of her showing up one day, and you know. So, anyways, I tried to talk to him, and little by little, I mean, he was getting progressively more ill, and it reached the point where I asked him, I think I went over there about two or three attempts, and he turned me down all the time. And but then one day, he actually let me say the whole rosary in his presence, and he didn't say anything, and I was shocked. But my main goal was that he have his last rites or some kind of confession. And so he was admitted to the hospital. I knew this was going to be it. And so I rushed to get Father Terry to come and give him his last rites. And, you know, my aunt was telling me, no, he doesn't want them. You have to respect his wish. You can't go there. So everybody was against me, but I said, you know what, we'll see what happens once we get there. And so we did end up showing up. I brought Father there, and he was very receptive, wasn't he? He was very receptive.
And emotional.
And emotional, yeah. And I was so happy and so grateful for that. But for me, it wasn't enough. I wanted him to have some kind of confession. So I had a dream. I had this dream where I was in a church, and I was in the back of the church. And I just felt very sorrowful about my sins. I felt like, I was the worst sinner in the church. And suddenly, I felt someone lift me up to the sky. And I thought, gee, what's happening? It felt so real. And anyway, next thing you know, I'm flying around in the clouds. But I said, this can't be heaven, because it's kind of like overcast, you know. And so next thing you know, I'm back in my bed, and I wake up. And it was like really silent, and all of a sudden I heard the rain fall. And it was maybe like 3 minutes, and it was the whole thing. It was like the pitter-patter, then it got really heavy, then you had the thunder, and then it stopped. And I woke up my husband, I go, do you hear that? Like, is that real? Like, I wanted to know if that was real. He goes, yeah, I hear it. And then all of a sudden, I felt this immense heat. And like, it was so intense. It was like what Father was saying about, you know, the metal being purified in the fire, you know, like to the point that it hurt me. And I said, okay, that's enough, I get it, you know. And so what I understood from that was that Jesus had forgiven my sins, he had cleansed me, and he purified me. That's what I understood that to be. But when he lifted me up, there was somebody else with me. I didn't know who it was. It wasn't revealed to me at that point, at that time. So, going forward, I decide I need someone who's Italian speaking to talk to my grandfather, at least to get his communion or confession. And so I talked to this priest. He said, okay, I'll go on, I'll be there either today or tomorrow. And so when I went to visit him, somebody said, oh, this priest came by looking for you, or something like that. Somebody said, yeah, a priest came, and I was so thrilled. I said, oh, what did he say? What did he say? And, well, she didn't give me too much details. She just said that my grandfather shook his head, oh, that Magdalene. You know, she's just too much. Yeah, anyways, I was so, I just wanted to know what happened. Did he actually take the host? Like, what happened? So I went back to that priest, and I said, tell me, you know, what happened? And he said, I just wanted, you know, your grandfather would, you know, was so moved. I mean, he could barely, you know, eat or drink, and he just, you know, really took his time to take this host, and, you know, and all he talked about was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And he was, you know, I got the feeling that I really felt that he was a very religious man.
Right.
And he just looked at me. He goes, now, he's just like, let me tell you something, he says. He goes, you know, you can't judge grandfather. Only Jesus knows what's real. He can read hearts. He knows what is in somebody's heart. So even though he might have had a very tough exterior, you know, like a lot of Italian men do, you know, from that part of the world. Anyways, from that part of Italy. But he goes, but they're inside, they can be fleshy. They can have a real soft heart. And I was really moved by that. So still not content. Because my friend Charmaine just says, we gotta go. Oh no, I said, Charmaine, will you come with me? I want to say the Divine Mercy by his bedside. She goes, sure, we'll go. And it was the day of the precious,
Feast of the Precious Blood.
Feast of the Precious Blood. So Charmaine says, okay, let's get started. She says, okay, Magdalene, you know, tell me, you know, you go ahead and you say what your intention is. And so and my grandfather could hear me. And I was saying, okay, Jesus, you know, please save my grandfather, forgive him his sins. And I said, please let him feel what I felt that night that I had that dream. Let him know that you're real and that you love him. And Charmaine was with me, and it wasn't like maybe a few seconds into saying.
After we said the chaplet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't after. It was like 2 seconds. We started saying the chaplet. All of a sudden, my grandfather starts freaking out, and he starts going, "Oh my God, I won it!" And you know, and I didn't know what was going on. So we had to call the nurse, and we brought the nurse in, and we're checking his bed. We thought, no, everything was dry. I didn't know, right? Yeah. So anyways, we start again, and so he goes, "Oh my God, stop! I'm really getting hot! I'm getting hot! Take off the covers! And I didn't think anything of it until after, right? Charmaine and I were talking about it. I said, my goodness, could it be that he really did feel what I felt in my dream? Where he was, he was wet, or he got washed, and then he was hot and purified like that. And then Charmaine, and then you wanted to say more prayers. He goes, okay, that's enough now. Thank you. And he was very grateful, and that's my story.